So I finally got my hands on this behemoth of a box set, which is Battle Angel Alita in all its hardcover glory. I've heard great things about this manga, and I've been eyeing the box set for years, but dropping $200 to $300 on it, yeah, not exactly in the budget back then. Cut to present time, and I finally finished reading volume 1, and I'm flabbergasted. Like, seriously, why does this not have a proper anime adaptation? This is Cyberpunk at its absolute peak. Raw, brutal, and way ahead of its time. And somehow, this came out in the early 90s. That means while people were out there listening to Nirvana or arguing over VHS versus Laserdisc, Battle Angel Alita was already doing cyberpunk better than most stuff today. Now, small little note I want to make is that the Japanese version of Alita is actually called Gunmu. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Also, Alita's name is different. It's like Gali. Her name is Gali or something in the Japanese manga. But yeah, for this video, I'm just using the American names just to, prevent any confusion. So we're just gonna call her Alita. So who is this Alita and why is she a battle angel? Well, she's a cyborg who started out as just a head found in a garbage dump. Lucky for her, she's discovered by a cyber medic named Ido, who has a genius idea of fixing her up. And that's exactly what he does, giving her his cyborg body and essentially treating her like his own daughter. Though he is a bit overprotective. Now, the dystopian world that Alita lives in is called Scrapyard, which is a pretty fitting name for a cyberpunk city, to be honest. The city of Scrapyard is located beneath a floating island called Zalem. Now, Zalem is where the rich and the elite live. All the garbage and the waste from Zalem gets tossed down to the people below in Scrapyard, who are just trying to survive using whatever scraps they can find. Hence the name, Scrapyard, get it? As expected, Scrapyard is not for the faint of heart. It's a lawless, cutthroat world where survival of the fittest reigns, and criminals are running rampant. To keep some semblance of order, bounty hunters, which are known as hunter warriors, are assigned to take down these criminals in exchange for hefty rewards. The hefty rewards mostly being chips. Chips are basically the currency of this world. And the job is simple. You just gotta go chop off their head, bring it in so that they can have proof that you hunted down the criminal, and you can claim your reward after that. Brutal but effective. So let's get back to Mr. Ido, Dr. Ido. Now, he may be a doctor, but he's also secretly a bounty hunter too, on the side. I mean, you gotta make ends meet somehow in this dystopian world. One night, Alita kinda stumbles upon him, ambushing a criminal. One thing leads to another, and she finds herself in a situation where she has to jump in to save him, unleashing these combat skills and techniques that she didn't even know she had. This moment changes everything. Alita decides to register as a bounty hunter herself, much to Ido's disapproval. But over time, he realizes that she isn't meant to be just his daughter, or someone to protect forever. She's meant for something greater. From here on, the story kind of becomes somewhat episodic, for the lack of a better term. For example, some of the chapters focus entirely on a single criminal, which Alita is hunting, while later volumes, like for example volume 3 and 4, kind of shift to an intense racing tournament that Alita competes in. So essentially the manga kind of just moves through these smaller arcs, but there's no set length to them. Some might take up just a few chapters, while others span entire volumes. So it's an interesting format, to be honest, and I kind of enjoyed it. Even Dr. Ido gets his own moments where the story follows his perspective without Alita being around, which is nice to see. But when she is around, Alita takes on some of the most ruthless and terrifying baddies that are imaginable, and what makes these fights even more intense is the incredible artwork. Yukito Kushiro's attention to detail bring every battle to life in the most brutal and visually stunning way. I'm a huge fan of, dystopian atmosphere, dystopian cyberpunk, and this is elevated even further by his artwork, capturing that kind of gritty industrial decay of Scrapyard and the eerie contrast of the floating city above. There's a lot of attention to detail with every single manga panel, and it feels meticulously crafted, pulling you deeper into this raw and unforgiving world, and it kind of just immerses you into the world. Now I have to emphasize just how much detail goes into some of these full-page spreads. It got to a point where I was just kind of pausing while I was reading just to take in the sheer amount of work that's poured into each panel. The level of intricacy, because the world just feels alive and it's stunning to look at. It kind of reminded me of the video game series Deus Ex or Shadowrun, a world filled with cybernetically enhanced criminals, black market augments, and people just walking around with chips installed in their brains. That kind of gritty, high-tech dystopia is something you usually see in movies or video games, but seeing it brought to life so vividly in a manga is just pretty amazing. And not to mention the insane detail that is put into each of the character designs as well. Speaking of characters, I really liked most of the ones that were introduced in Alita. Even the side characters get their moments to shine. I mean, you're not just always following Alita around throughout the manga and seeing the world through her eyes. The story does occasionally shift to focus on other characters, which I think is a great approach. It keeps things fresh and kind of adds more depth to the world. So what about Alita herself? Now, if the protagonist isn't compelling, that's already a huge problem, right? Personally, I do like Alita as a character because, honestly, who doesn't love a badass female cyborg who can demolish anything in her path? But at the same time, I didn't find much about her that truly stood out beyond being, an unstoppable killing machine. Now, she's undeniably cool, and her action scenes are incredible, but I never felt deeply invested in her as a character. She gets the job done, but I wouldn't say she's a protagonist I absolutely loved. But heck, she's super cool and a force to be reckoned with, so I can give her a big thumbs up for that. Now, usually I find small little things that bother me about manga or anime, or I usually have some, cons to list. But I can't find much to fault for with this manga. There wasn't anything that really bothered me. It was an all-around enjoyable read, and the experiences was even better thanks to these massive, deluxe edition volumes I got. I mean, just look at these beasts. They're even bigger than Berserk or Hellsing deluxe editions from Dark Horse. And that speaks volumes. Literally volumes. So if you can get your hands on this box set, I'd say it's the best way to experience Battle Angel Alita. The extra colored pages and just that high quality laminated paper makes it feel even more premium. But again, I don't blame you if the price is too steep. It is a bit much, and it took me a couple of years to take the bullet and just, hit that buy now button. But hey, there are other affordable paperback omnibus editions, which are I think $20 a pop. So if that's something, that you're into, you can definitely check that out. It's still a great way to read the series, don't get me wrong. Now, before I close this video off, I did mention earlier, seriously, why does this manga not have a proper anime adaptation? There was an OVA released back in the day, but it's only 2 episodes long, and it doesn't really faithfully follow the manga and kind of jumps all over the place. I mean, honestly, 2 episodes is not enough to cover all this content, so it kind of makes sense. And then out of nowhere, we got a live action movie too in 2019. Cool, but also completely random and uncalled for. But where is the anime? How is that not top priority over all these other side projects? I mean, let's be real, they probably spent all that money they would have used for the anime, for Alita's eyes. The CGI that's done for Alita's eyes in the live action movie is just look at those eyes.
Excuse me, what the f?
But at the end of the day, Battle Angel Alita is still an absolute classic, with or without a proper anime. The world building, is pretty insane, the action is freaking insane, and Kishido's incredible artwork just makes it a must-read for any Cyberpunk fan. But anyway, that's it for the video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of Battle Angel Alita, if you've already read it or heard about it. Do you think it deserves a new adaptation, like an anime, proper anime version? As always, if you enjoyed this, don't forget to like and subscribe for more manga and anime content. Please leave a comment down below, let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching, and this is your host, Rich Taku, and I will be signing off.